The most important thing is it's voluntary. So the individual can enter into the supportive decision making agreement or the SDM voluntarily. They can't be coerced. So it's very similar to other planning documents like a power of attorney or a healthcare power of attorney or even an advance directive. What's great about this document is that the decision is still with the individual that is executing the supportive decision making agreement. So in this instance, let's just use Colby again. Colby would still be making all the decisions. Everything rests on what Colby desires, his wants, what he needs, what he wants to do. He just has the support of a team. And there are a few things that are talked about in the Colby Act. So they are divided into basically like subsections. So you can have a supporter for each one of these subsections. So one of the subsections is healthcare. One is financial, community. When we say community, we mean like where they live, maybe where they worship, those kinds of things. Education, employment, and other decisions that may come up, just miscellaneous decisions. And so what's great about this is that an individual that is executing an SDM will have a supporter for every one of those subsections that I just described. And so, they can decide who that person is. Maybe it's, with the education, maybe it's someone who was formerly a teacher or even has experience in special education issues or issues with those who need accommodations because they have disabilities. So you can really pick who you want to be on your team based on their expertise and also how they work with you. With it being making sure that it's voluntary, that is in the act itself. They have to enter into the agreement voluntarily, and they cannot be coerced into entering into that agreement. So, like I said, it's really written within the document. And that's the good thing about the Colby Act is you can actually go and look at the bill itself, and it has all of the requirements of the Colby Act listed in the bill and outlined in the bill. And it also has a template for what a supportive decision-making agreement should look like, or what you can pattern your supportive decision-making agreement after. And when we say fully understand, they basically means that we know that people have cognitive issues, and a lot of times when dealing with people with disabilities, if they have dementia or Alzheimer's, or they have a disability that affects their cognitive ability, all they need is they have to know who they are and what they want this document to accomplish. So if Colby has this document, he just needs to be able to say, my name is Colby and I want Anna to help me with making decisions for my education, or I want to go to school and I want help with going to school or pursuing a higher education. Supportive decision-making agreement can be terminated when obviously the adult passes away, when all named supporters withdraw without arranging a successor. That's one of the great things about the supportive decision-making agreement. If for any reason one of the supporters that is helping the individual cannot serve, they can also name an alternate supporter, so somebody to take their place. But if in this document, all of those who are serving decide that they don't want to serve anymore, the document would terminate, or the SDM would terminate. It also terminates if the court determines the adult does not have the capacity to execute or consent. So that's similar to our conversation earlier. If the person becomes incapacitated due to injury or disability, and they're unable to care for themselves, and the court has determined that, or they, like we talked about earlier as well, if they appoint a guardian or conservator, then this document terminates. Also, if the court finds one of the supporters used the agreement to financially exploit or abuse or neglect the person with that executed the SDM, then that document can also be terminated. and also when a court appoints a temporary or permanent guardian.